What's up, Pokemaniacs? I am the Online Orphan, and I am your analyst for Season 2 of the Pokemon Uber League, and we are back for the next video. That is our Week 11 Power Rankings. So this will likely be a shorter video than normal, as half of these games we will literally have nothing to talk about, as is the usual in draft league format. We have a couple of forfeits coming at the end of the season, but we're still going to get through this video here, talk to you guys about the 20 teams, where they are ranked post week 11, and talk a little bit about next week's video. So hit that like button down below and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. But without any further ado, let's jump into the week 11 power rankings, starting off with, of course, the bottom 5. And coming in last place, the Durham G-Bulls, with the 0-11 record, staying exactly where they were last week, as they have forfeited the season. In the number 19 spot is the Southern Blazikens. Again, a forfeit loss this week, bringing them to 2-9 and staying in the number 19 spot. Same as well with the number 18 Brighton Bulldoors, taking a forfeit loss this week, 2-9 overall record, and staying where they were. Up next in the number 17 spot, we have the Jacksonville Jolteon, dropping a spot this week with a 3-8 record, losing their battle 0-6. Certainly came with some fun sets, so might not have been trying too hard this battle, as of course they would not be making playoffs, such as the Rattata, the Trick Room. Alolan Executor was certainly interesting, but again, not sure how memey the team was. So in the number 16 spot is going to be the Umende Explods, now with a 4-7 overall record and taking a forfeit win this week. Just going to move up one spot based on the other team's positions. So let's go ahead and jump right into the next set of 5. Starting out in the number 15 spot, we have the Sleeping Snorlax. The Sleeping Snorlax with the 4-7 overall record, not going to be moving up or down, also having a forfeit loss this week. In the number 14 spot, we have the Blazing Infernape. Yet another forfeit loss here for the week. 5-6 overall record and staying right where they were. Dropping a spot this week, though, is going to be the number 13 overall team, the Seattle Slowpokes, with that 5-6 record here. The Seattle Slowpokes losing their match 0-5 and really just unable to break through the opponent's team this week, with a combination of status effects, hazards, and a surprising mixed Mega Venusaur. So Seattle Slowpokes dropping a spot this week. Up next in the number 12 spot, we have the Cleveland Crobats, now with the 5-6 record, taking a 1-0 loss this week and moving down a spot in the rankings. Did suffer an unlucky crit in the battle, but a very nice Metagross set to almost bring it back. But just unable to finish out the battle there. And again, only losing 1-0, so a very close battle and well fought by the Cleveland Crobats. Coming in at the number 11 spot this week, falling a space out of the top 10, we have the Cardwell Colossals with the 6-5 overall record, but just getting a forfeit win this week. So let's go ahead and jump into our top 10 now, as we will be starting off with the Warsaw Weaviles. The Warsaw Weaviles, now with the 6-5 record, going to be dropping 2 spaces this week, losing their battle 3-0. For the most part, not a terrible battle, not really any bad plays on their part, just unable to get the momentum in their favor when they needed it. so dropping a couple of spaces this week. Next up in the number 9 spot, we have the Black City Bisharps, now with the 6-5 overall record, staying where they were in the rankings from last week, just taking the forfeit win. In the number 8 spot, we have the biggest mover of the week, the Montreal Canadienses, powering their way up the rankings, moving up 5 spots with a 5-0 victory this week, now with the 6-5 overall record, using the spikes and paralysis well, and then the mixed Mega Venusaur, just putting in the finest of work in this battle, really showing off its bulk and offensive capabilities. So well played overall by the Montreal Canadienses. Coming in the number 7 spot, in the same position from last week, is going to be the Crazy Kermit Club, now with that 7-4 record. Unfortunately forfeiting the battle before it did finish, but was likely that the battle would have ended up in a 6-0 either way. After a setup Magearna just started sweeping through, they did of course miss an unfortunate Fire Blast, but that is the game we play sometimes, and that can happen. So Crazy Kermit Club taking a big, what turned out into a forfeit loss. Next up in the number 6 spot, we have the Maine Red Clowitzers, who were their opponent, now with that 7-4 record as well, taking that win against the Crazy Kermit Club with that Shift Gear Magearna. Again, the Fire Blast missing, but was likely to take it out at that point. It's unclear how the battle would have played out at that point, but getting that win, securing their spot here, the Maine Red Clowitzers. So let's go ahead and jump into a familiar top 5 here, as we will be starting out with the Melbourne Staryous. The Melbourne Staryous now with the 7-4 record, taking that narrow 1-0 victory over the Cleveland Crobats we mentioned. Going to be staying in their number 5 spot this week as well, with a solid defensive Deoxys, nice Giratina set, and of course the Trick Room Stakataka to pull off the final victory over the well set up Metagross by the opponent. So well played by the Melbourne Staryous this week. Next up in the number 4 spot this week is going to be the Haxo Haldarin. Just going to be dropping a space this week as they fall 8-3 in what appeared to be a bit of a meme battle. So really nothing to judge too much here. They did lose the battle 5-0, so that is why they take just the slightest dip here in the rankings. But again, based off of what we saw from the battle, likely that most of the sets were a little bit just there for fun, because these two coaches clearly know that they will be meeting in the playoffs. Next up is going to be the Lexington Leafeons, switching spots with the Haldarin here for that number 3 spot, jumping up a space now with the 8-3 record and taking that 3-0 victory over the Warsaw Weaviles this week. And again, what was just a well-played game by both coaches. The Leafeons really just holding the momentum for the good portion of the battle, and nothing much more to say there. Next up in the number 2 spot, once again, we have the Wellington Ho-Oh. The Wellington Ho-Oh now with that 9-2 record and taking a massive 6-0 victory over their opponents. Speed passing into the Lunala to start off the battle, and just solid sets all around, allowing them to save a complete 6-0 victory over the Jacksonville Jolteon. Well done by the Ho-Oh this week. And once again, in your top spot for the power rankings is going to be the Boston Celebi, with the commanding 10-1 record this season. Again, having a bit of a fun battle with the Haxo Haldarin, but really showing that even in a more fun battle, just how dominant they can be, with a Steelwing Yveltal taking out Diancie in the first turn. Shell Smash Shuckle also putting in the finest of work, as well as the weakness policy. Empoleon, very fun battle to watch and very fun to see. And again, just dominating what would just be a fun match. Still very well played by the Celebi. So guys, that is going to do it for our Week 11 power rankings. I hope you guys did enjoy this shorter video, but make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on next week, as it is the last week of regular season battles. We'll go through those power rankings, ranking each team on the season overall, and then talk about how the playoff picture breaks down, so you are not going to want to miss that. Like I said, make sure you are subscribed and you hit that little bell so you don't miss it. Thumbs up the video, we would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check me out on my channel as well. Link will hopefully be in the description down below. And once again, I am the Online Orphan, signing out.